Welcome to In Progress, a podcast to help you grow and learn how to become a better version of yourself. Now, here's your host, Michael Cirigliano.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of In Progress. I'm your host, Michael Cirigliano. I'm here today to let you know that if you are somebody that is following their dreams, that is starting a new venture, that is doing something out of the ordinary, that you should just stop. You should not be pursuing your dreams. You should not be trying to become something because, well, you're not good at it. You're a novice. You're new. You're trying to learn things that you don't already know. And that's honestly very stupid to do, right? It's a very stupid thing to pursue, to try and follow your dreams if they're large dreams. If your dream is to work in a cubicle, that's fine. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, that's okay. There's roads to that. But if you want to follow your own path, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to get in better shape, you should probably just stop that, because unless you know everything that you need to know, unless you know exactly how to get to where you want to be, well, you're just not going to get there. And that is the most ignorant advice that anyone can ever tell you. And I know that all of you watching probably have heard something to that effect at some point in your life. And I was thinking about that this week, about how everybody starts from ground zero, right? I mean, there are people that, there are some people that are born with a natural ability, a natural talent, people that are a little more apt to performing certain tasks than others, but everybody pretty much starts from ground zero. Now, let's take a look at the greats in their respective categories of work, right? So let's take Mike Tyson, for example, right? A boxer out of the city. He was just a little kid, got bullied all the time, and he joined a gym and started boxing. And he wasn't a boxer before that. His family didn't box before that, right? So why did Mike Tyson start boxing? Why did he continue boxing? How did he become one of the greatest boxers to ever live, to ever be a part of the sport? How did he do that? Well, that's consistency. That's believing in yourself. That's doing something that others wouldn't do, right? Because Mike Tyson, somebody who came from nothing and became the greatest heavyweight champion to ever grace the ring, started from nothing. But with consistency, believing in himself, having a coach that backed him, that trained him, that spoke positivity, that critiqued him, he was able to become a great. Another one, Michael Jordan, started from nothing, built his way up. Musicians, right? Musicians are the exact same way. So all of these people, when they started, were nothing. And I can't validate this, but I'm sure that there were people that were telling them that they shouldn't continue pursuing something because they weren't anything. Mike Tyson didn't become one of the greats until years of boxing happened, right? He didn't become a great the first week that he was boxing, but he continued it. He pursued it. He was consistent with it. And that's how all of these endeavors are going to go. If you're pursuing boxing, if you're pursuing athletics at all, if you're pursuing anything, you need to understand that you're going to start from ground zero. There is going to be a period of time on your path where you are seeing little to no results. You're not getting the validation. You're not getting the accolades. You're not getting the things that you would want to get out of whatever it is you're doing. But you have to continue to push through. If you're pursuing fitness, just personal fitness, I'm not talking about competing in bodybuilding. I'm not talking about doing strongman competitions, strictly personal fitness. You're going to start from nothing. You're not going to have any muscle definition. You're not going to know how to do the workouts properly. You're not going to know how many reps, how many sets. You're not going to. So people are going to see you doing that, and the friends that you have or had that tend to gravitate more towards the party lifestyle, the people that just engage in self-destructive behavior, eating poorly, drinking all the time, doing drugs. If that was your friend group and now you're on a path of personal fitness, you'll notice that as you get more involved in personal fitness, you start to kind of put that self-destructive behavior and lifestyle behind you. And those people who you were once partying with and enjoying life with, they're not going to be in your corner saying, oh, good for you. They're going to laugh. They're going to make fun of you. It's a joke, right? It's a joke that you're pursuing personal fitness. But that doesn't mean you should stop, because you know where your end goal is. And your end goal could be 5-10 years down the line. But if you don't continue to pursue it consistently, eat the right things, put the right things in your body, do the right workouts at the right times, do the right reps, sets, all of that, you're never going to see those results because you're not pursuing it. You need to be consistently working towards something, whether people are backing it or not. If you're pursuing music, same thing. You're starting from nothing and you're building yourself up. There's always going to be a period of time when you're pursuing something, regardless of what it is, where people are going to be looking at you and mocking you. They're not going to be supportive of what it is that you're doing because you're a novice. You don't know what you're doing. You just know that you want to do whatever it is you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing yet. You're still on that journey, on that path. And you are always going to be learning while on that path. So people are not going to back that until you become successful, until you get to where you want to be, until there's others giving you that external validation. That's when people start to support you. So just because people aren't supporting you right now does not mean that you should stop. If you're not seeing the results you want, that does not mean to stop. Everything is a slow grind. Everything is a slow burn. Your job is to make sure that you are putting 1,000% effort into whatever it is you're doing, regardless of how comfortable or uncomfortable it is. You're going to have to work to get to where you want to be. If you want to start a podcast, it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be easy. You're going to consistently have to put out content, and you're not going to get the immediate results. You have to continue doing it because you know that doing the right things is what's going to get you to where you want to be. And like I said in the previous episode, you can't fail. You cannot fail, because how can you fail if you are consistently doing the right things every time, in and out? You cannot fail. So you have to be focusing on that. You have to make sure that every move you're making is the correct move. If you're not doing the correct thing, if you're not making sure that every move you make is the right move, well then yeah, you're gonna fail. If you're not putting 100% effort in because you're not seeing the results, well yeah, you're gonna fail. But if you go to the gym, even when you don't feel like it, if you record the podcast, even though you don't feel like it or you're not seeing the results, if you make that phone call, even though you're not getting the sales that you want, if you continue pursuing whatever it is that you want, then you will succeed. That is a 100% guarantee. If you continue doing the right things, you have no option but success. Even though it's slow, it is going to happen. It is. Every great in the history of the world, everybody was ridiculed and mocked at one point or another on their journey up, regardless of the person. Gary Vee was a joke until he became Gary Vee. Noah, when he was building the ark, nobody knew why are you building an ark? Oh, God told me to do it, whatever. And then the flood came, and Noah was the only one prepared because he was putting in the work even though people did not back the decision. People did not understand what he was doing. In order to get to where you want to be, you must continue working. You become that overnight success after you put in the time, because there's no such thing as an overnight success. You're going to have a period of time where you're not getting the accolades and recognition that you think you deserve. But that doesn't mean you need to stop. That doesn't mean you're not on the right path. All that means is you're still on the path. And the closer you get to leveling up, the more ridicule you'll get. The more you'll feel like you're not on the right path, because you're always going to be tested before you level up. You're always going to be given an obstacle before you level up. And your job as a determined, driven individual is to continue pursuing those goals, no matter how difficult it is. When you don't feel like it, you do it. When someone makes fun of you, you do it. If you're not seeing the results that you want, you do it, because that's the only way that you're going to succeed. And all it is when you want to succeed in anything in life, it is your ability to handle stress. Everybody, and I mean everybody, nowadays lacks two things. One is work ethic. So if you're able to work and put in that work, whether you want to or not, you're ahead of the game. And the second thing people do not have is the ability to handle stress. We live in a society now where being comfortable is the end goal. Relaxing is the end goal. Going home, drinking, and laying in bed is the end goal. But what makes you think that that is going to get you to where you want to be? You don't want to be like everybody else, so why would you partake in the activities that everybody else does? Why would you think that the things that make everybody else happy would make you happy? You have a larger purpose on this earth. You have goals and aspirations that you're pursuing. And just because the majority of people that you surround yourself with, or the majority of people that you know, don't have goals and aspirations, they've given up, or they haven't even thought of them, because why would I try and break the mold? Why would I try and do something out of the ordinary? That makes no sense at all. Well, it's because those people are just going to be those people. They're going to be that kind of person. And the nice thing is, when you're on the path that you're on, and you're pursuing something larger than what you are, larger than the regular life, is not everybody thinks that way. Not everybody has it in them to pursue something without external validation immediately. And the greatest thing about that is, that makes it that much easier for you. Because your competition is not by any means everybody. Because I can tell you right now, out of every single person that I personally know, maybe 3 to 5 people out of all of the people that I know are pursuing something that isn't just a regular job, or pursuing something that isn't just making enough money to go party on the weekend. Most people are just doing that. They go to work, they hate their job, they hate their life, they go home, they numb themselves with alcohol or drugs, and then they go to sleep, wake up, do it again, and then Friday night comes and, oh, I got paid. Let's go buy Coke. Let's go buy some alcohol. Let's go to the bar and party. Let's party till 2 a.m. Then let's head to a restaurant and eat some greasy, unhealthy, shitty food after just consuming all of that alcohol and cocaine. And then go to sleep. Wake up hungover. Hate your life. Maybe you're off for the whole weekend. Rinse and repeat the entire weekend. Where does that leave you? That leaves you broke, unhealthy, and lethargic for the beginning of the next week. And that's why you hate your life. If you're pursuing something greater than that, you don't wake up hungover. You don't wake up upset. You don't wake up depressed. You don't wake up sad. You wake up ready to take on the day. You wake up ready to succeed. And just because you're not seeing the results immediately, you know that you're doing the right things. And with doing the right things comes results. Small results, slow results, but results nonetheless. So when you're talking to people and those people make fun of you, they ridicule you because you're new in an endeavor. You're a novice. You don't know what you're doing. You're just starting out. And you get made fun of for that. You have to understand, the people making fun of you are the people that would shit themselves if they had to try and be on the path that you're on. You can't possibly really listen to people who eat like shit, live a life like shit, go home, watch porn, masturbate, get tired, go to sleep, wake up. Like, that is the most unfulfilling life I've ever heard of. And that is probably a solid 95% of people in this world. That's what they're doing. So all you have to do is the opposite of that. And then you set yourself apart. You are able to succeed without even really doing much, because you set yourself apart just by being on your shit. And being on your shit is never going to be a bad thing. Let's say that whatever endeavor that you're choosing to pursue takes 5 years. 5 years until it finally takes off. So what are you doing in those 5 years? You're working out, you're eating right, you're being consistent, you're learning discipline, you're learning consistency, you're learning delayed gratification, and then finally, when you do succeed and blow up or whatever it is that you choose to do, those 5 years that you've been working with no big blow up, all that you've been doing was training yourself to be able to handle the success that you have now. So 5 years of nothing is just setting the foundation to be able to handle success. So when those people come to you and they make fun of you because you speak different, you do different things, you listen to different people, when you're getting made fun of for that, you have to understand, who is it coming from? Is it coming from somebody that I look up to, that I want to be? Is it coming from somebody who has an amazing body and an amazing healthy lifestyle, and that's what you want? No. Chances are it's coming from somebody who doesn't like their life, is miserable in their own life, and has probably already given up on any possible dreams they have. So consider the source, right? You can't just be, oh, well, John said that, me trying to get abs in the gym is stupid. I'll never have abs. John probably eats takeout every single fucking day. John probably never goes to the gym. John probably doesn't do anything beneficial for himself. John probably lives an extremely self-destructive lifestyle, and you're going to listen to John and say, oh, he might be right. He has a point. I haven't ever had abs before. I really don't know what I'm doing in the gym, so I guess just fall back into that same party lifestyle that John has, right? No. Fuck John. Why would you listen to John? The people that make fun of you, the people that mock you, the people that don't understand what it is you're doing, they're afraid to do what you're doing. They're afraid to step outside the box. They are afraid of pursuing their own dreams. They are going to live a life that they hate up until the point that they die, and they've done nothing. They have no legacy. They have nothing going for them. Their kids don't even care for them. Their family doesn't care for them. They can go with or without them. It doesn't matter, because they haven't done anything. They have no purpose at all. And if you live a life of no purpose, then you're not doing anything. You're basically just existing. And that's phenomenal for those people who are pursuing their dreams. McDonald's makes money from people that do nothing. All these clothing companies, all these big name brands, jewelry companies, they make money off of these people that don't do anything, right? Because the majority of people that don't do shit and don't pursue their dreams also love to flex. They also love to have the name brands, throw it on their social media, make it look like they're doing some big shit, when in reality, they're not doing shit at all. You're in the gym at 2 a.m, because that's all the time you have. Congratulations, you're better than them. You wake up early and you drink, you drink your water, your protein, you have your breakfast, you set up your schedule for the day, you make sure to watch that motivational video, you make sure to learn something that day, you set aside time to learn something. Congratulations, you're better than 95% of the population. And that's why you're going to succeed, because you're pursuing something that everyone else is afraid to. So when you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, maybe they're right. Think again. Think again. They can't be right because you're right. The only difference is they don't agree with you because they don't understand you. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. And to be completely honest with you, the quicker that you own what it is you're doing, the quicker you own it, the harder it is for them to mock you. So if you are going to the gym all the time, own it. Don't be afraid to say, oh yeah, I meal prepped, because it sounds weird. Oh yeah, I drink this protein shake and this creatine because it's good for me. Don't be afraid. If you're pursuing music, oh yeah, I practiced this many hours. Or if you're in a business, oh yeah, I cold called this many people and I dropped off this many flowers. Don't be ashamed of that. Because the quicker and sooner that you own the shit you're doing, then it becomes normal. When I started this podcast, the amount of people that jokingly mocked the podcast was insane. Everybody that I knew had a smart remark to say. Now that I've been doing it as long as I have, now that I own it, now that I talk about it openly and without any hesitation, instead of it being a subject of joke, it's just a regular thing. My friends come up to me and say, oh, I watched this part of this video that you put up on Instagram. It was a great video. Good job. Or, oh, I watch your podcast now. My girlfriend hears your voice and she goes, oh, you're watching that again? My friends now support me because I've been doing it so long. They support me because I own it. I wear my own merch. I do everything unapologetically because I know that this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to put out this information for people because that's what I want to do. And if there's something that you want to do to better yourself, own it. You go to the gym, own it. You take this pre-workout, own it. Post about it. The same way that these lowlives are posting about all the weed they're smoking and all the drinks they're drinking and all the alcohol they have and the car that they rented on the trip they took out to Miami with the last dollar they have, and they're in some hostel because it's the cheapest way to go about it, but they rented a Mercedes to be in Miami and they can't get into half the clubs, so they're going to some bullshit dive bars in the outskirts of Miami because they can't afford to actually be in Miami, but their geotag says Miami. Like, give me a fucking break. Those the people you're listening to? The people that are living to please others because they want that immediate validation? The immediate validation is going to do you no good. The long-term validation is what you're going to receive. But you should not be doing anything for the validation. You should do it only for yourself. But if you start to recognize patterns, the people that talk the most do the least. They just live to get the external validation. And we're in a society now with social media being so prevalent. Validation's the end all be all. Validation's it. Whether it's a woman on Instagram or a guy on Instagram, they're doing the same thing. A woman will post her body half naked for validation, the same way a guy will post the Mercedes or the Ferrari or the Corvette that he rented for validation. It's the exact same thing, but at the end of the day, it is shallow, meaningless shit that they're getting validated for. And you fast forward the clock 5-10 years. Now, not only are they not getting the validation for that shit because they can't afford that lifestyle, they don't look the same as they did when they were 23. Well, now they're not getting the validation they wanted. and they have nothing to show for it. You, on the other hand, maybe you're not getting the validation now because who's validating you for studying? Nobody's going to applaud you for studying. I mean, I will, but honestly, if you got 500 people on your Instagram, maybe 2, 3 are going to be like, oh, hell yeah, he's working hard. That's it. So you're not going to get that validation. But over time, you're going to just start succeeding. And one thing people love, and I promise you this, is somebody who's successful, somebody who succeeded, because then they can say, oh yeah, I knew him. Oh yeah, I knew her. Yeah, he was my friend. We used to go out and drink back in the day. Oh yeah, I used to talk to him. Oh yeah, I used to go out with him too. So if that's how things work, and validation is the end all be all right now, and if you can learn to not worry about the validation, not worry about other people, you're ahead of the game. And honestly, no one really gives a fuck about anybody else. Aside from the social media likes, no one really cares, right? Someone posts a car they rented in Miami or California or whatever. Well, yeah, you might get some likes because it's a cool car, but that's not for you. That's for the car. Oh, you got a new chain. It's for the chain. It's not for you. Oh, you're smoking a whole lot of weed. Well, the people liking that just like the weed. They don't like it. You don't look cool smoking a blunt. And you know what I'm saying? It's just loser shit. It's bum shit. You're not bums. If you're watching this, you're not a bum, obviously. You got something else going for you because you're watching this. This kind of material, the stuff that I'm talking about right now would not resonate with someone who just parties all the time. I promise you that, because when I was doing it, I wouldn't fucking watch this. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I did, but rarely. Now that I'm on this shit, now that I actually pay attention, now that I'm on my own journey, on my own path, now I consume this kind of content. So if you're consuming this content, you're not like them. And that's a good thing. You're not like them, and that's a good thing. So when they're telling you or making fun of you for pursuing something that you don't know anything about, if you hear them making smart little remarks in the background because you're doing something that you don't know anything about, sit there and think, do I want to be like him? Do I want to be like her? Probably not. So why even give a shit what they're saying if you don't want to be like them? You shouldn't. There's no point. All you have to think in your head, fuck them, fuck everyone's opinion. I know what I'm doing. I'm on my path. I'm doing what I need to do to get to where I want to be. And at the end of the whole thing, you're going to have an audience applauding you anyway. The same people that were talking shit applauding you anyway. Because you stayed consistent. You pursued your passion, and you made sure that you were disciplined enough to do it day in and day out, regardless of how you felt. And you will see the results. And when you do, others will too. People start watching. They'll start watching. And when you succeed, you're not going to want to be around them, because those are the same people that ridiculed you, that made fun of you, that made it a joke that you were trying to pursue something. Fuck them. Let them watch on the sidelines as you continue to succeed, as you continue to stay disciplined, as you continue to make sure that your future is bright, that you can do everything and anything that you want to do because you put your mind to it. That's how you're going to succeed. Don't listen to the losers talking shit about what you're doing. Focus on what you want to do, and you're going to succeed. And when you succeed, that is when you can start looking, because everyone's going to be watching you, and you'll feel real good about it then. I want to thank you guys for watching today. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment or DM me, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day.